just keep on rising. Failure ever fading. Growth in every pain. I won't be kept down. Embers keep igniting. Suns will sink to shade, but always rise again. Always rise again. Always rise again. Forbidden fields and empty meadows, I wind and wander to pierce the seal and loose the shadow that pulls me under places that should not be disturbed. All that I would cast away, watching giants fall from myself or from another. Trade the spirit of its color, leading into gray, crumble to the ground, a titan coming down. Cycle begins to atone, I will bear the crown. Twins of the curse on the brow, pull the future down. Giants heading here from the drain of eternity. Piercing the world to escape from a destiny. What have I become? All that I would cast away. Watching giants fall from myself or from another. Trade the spirit of its color, leading into gray, crumble to the ground, a titan coming down. All that I would cast away, watching giants fall in a choking fog. I smother trade the spirit of its color, leading into gray, crumble to the ground, a titan coming down.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to another painting stream. Hello everybody, I am Andrew, also known as Thanatos, and this is my painting stream where I hang out on weekday mornings and get some painting done. I will not be streaming tomorrow, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Tomorrow is Wednesday the 1st of September, and in solidarity with many other streamers, I will be taking the day off Twitch to try and encourage Twitch to do better at fighting bots and hate raids. They need to have some better tools. They need to do a better job of making it harder to create bot accounts. We'll talk about it. But in the meantime, I have minis to paint. Give me a sec, I'm gonna have some coffee. Coffee. So let's pop on over to Zoom Cam. And this lovely box that contains the death core from the Octarius demo. So these are the figures of many names. They are, this is the only one that I have completed 100%. Let's if you folks can see that. They are known as Kriegsmen because they have a very German military look to them. They are part of the new Kill Team box. Kill Team being a squad-based variation on Warhammer 40k. And they just released a new Kill Team box that has these folks and some orcs. I'm not doing the orcs. I have left those to Kevin at the store. Kevin is the orcsman, and he will work on them. But yes, these are known as Krieg. They are known as Death Corps. They are Astra Militarum. They are Space Marines. I mentioned Astra Militarum yesterday, last time I was streaming. They're the faction of Space Marines that aesthetically just look like actual soldiers from our world. These ones obviously inspired, as I said, by German troopers in World War I and World War II. But the vast majority of Astra Militarum have a very World War II/Vietnam look to them. They're usually painted in camo colors. And yeah. As far as color scheme goes for these folks, I did not choose to do a traditional color scheme. I went with a more, give me one sec, I'm just posting in various places that I am live. So that folks know to tune in. Posting to the discords of a few of my friends. I sometimes worry that I'm spamming these discords because I post every time I go live, and I seem to go live more than some of the folks in these channels because I stream most weekday mornings, not all, but many. But people assure me that it's okay, and they appreciate knowing when I'm going live. You can, of course, just follow, and you'll get, if you set notifications on, you'll get notification when I go live. Anyhow, let's catch up and see where we are with these folks. So like I said, I've got one finished. I did his base, I've done his wash and his highlights. That's 1 out of 10. 11 if you count the medic's bag. I did a little bit of work off stream on the medic's bag. You can see that I gave a white outline to the red logo that we painted last time I was on, just to give it a little bit more pizzazz. I did the same thing to his helmet. You can see, or maybe you can't, because I don't know if the resolution of my camera is high enough. So I'm going to get a new camera at some point, folks. I'm definitely going to get a better overhead so that this is a better view. But anyhow, yeah, I add a little bit of white to the logo on his forehead there to make it pop a little bit. My mission today, I have to add a whole bunch of silver to these units. We're using gunmetal, which is one of the army paints that I got way back in the day when I started doing painting, like 3 years ago? 3 years ago, I think. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to do a wash. We're doing Drakenhof Nightshade Wash, which is a blue wash. I think it looks really good on these guys. Then we're going to do some highlights, and we're going to work on their bases. We're adding Stirland Battlemire, which is a sort of grainy, earthy base. And then I have some Wasteland Tufts that I'm going to be adding as well. So that's a lot of work, and there's 9 or 10 more figures to do. So I'm just going to dive in. We have to start putting paint on minis. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this in my allotted time today. I'm a little bit late getting to stream. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But we're going to start out with the silver. I'm going to be coming back after the wash when I'm doing highlights to do the tiny, tiny silver details, because there's a lot of sort of, I don't know if you can see it on this guy, but he's got like little rivets and things like the loop on the back of his helmet, little rivets and stuff are all over. Many of those I want to go over the wash just to provide additional highlight. But some of the wider areas of silver I want to go under. So I have to think about, I'm just going to grab a figure and start going. But I do have to think about what areas I want to add some silver highlights to. They have these little pads on the backs of their hands. Definitely gonna get those. On my example figure, I did some parts of their guns. Stuff is more liquid than I remember it. I have to be a little more careful in the application of it. So yeah, let's see what areas of the gun I did. Sort of the barrel areas at the front. These little areas here. My nose wasn't running before I came in here to start streaming, so I'm wondering if something that I'm allergic to is floating in the air in my streaming nook. You may have noticed me sniffling a little bit. Hopefully, I won't sneeze as I am applying paint, because that would definitely make things difficult. little skull logo here. Skull. Look at that. I am being so messy. It's fine. Everything's fine, chat. Alright. This particular figure has this strap attached to the gun because they have it slung over their shoulder. Just color the ring on that strap. Okay, so progress. What else did I do? Silver. Obviously, they've got a sort of crest on the front of the helmet. That's pretty much it for the large areas of silver on the majority of these models. He's got a backpack. There's another little skull logo. Why is my precision so bad today? Maybe it's the brush. Blame your tools, chat. This fellow has the bayonet from his rifle slung from his backpack. We'll hit that. There's a portion of his jacket here that I never painted. I'll have to do that. Go. Sniffle, sniffle. Logo on the front of his helmet. Definitely want to hit that before I do the wash, because the wash is going to go into the crevices of that and make it look a little better. His belt buckle. I almost forgot his belt buckle. And I did this little part of the respirator in silver on the other one. There. It's fun how just a few little details can bring some life to the model. I want to fix his jacket, because there's bits of his jacket that I never did for some reason. Probably because I was in a rush. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I'm so sniffly. So the jacket is this necromancer cloak here. there. Underneath the bayonet here, I didn't get his jacket at all, apparently. There. All fixed. All good. So that figure is ready for a wash now. And then after the wash, we'll go in and do some highlights and other details in silver. Let's look at this medical case here that the medic has. It's got a few areas I wanted to do in silver. It's got sort of the lip of the bag here. Interestingly, silver on a black primer. If you go kind of light on the silver, I'm discovering, it looks pretty good because it gives the hint of reflectivity. You don't have to be 100% accurate. I just don't want to cover too much of the gray I've already painted. Okay. Here's the lip of the bag, and then I was going to do the sort of rack that the tools are hanging from in silver. So, in the center of the bag, there's this rack. It has vials and a syringe and scissors, surgical scissors, and a little surgical saw. All things a field medic could need to patch folks up sufficiently to continue killing. Blade of the saw as well. Good enough. The watchword for today has to be good enough, because I'm trying to do so much in so little time. Okay, that pretty much finishes that bag. That's what I was going for here. Cool. Again, we're going to be doing a wash in a few minutes, so the wash will help with these. medic himself. He has a knife here under his wrist. Coffee? Good call. Coffee, coffee, coffee. That'll help. Welcome, Lobster. Pads on the back of the hand there. So I mentioned that I will not be streaming tomorrow in solidarity as part of the day off Twitch. A growing problem that Twitch has had is bot raids and hate raids. And I know why it's an issue for Twitch. And it's not that they can't develop tools to make it harder to create bot accounts. It's that they don't want to, because their advertising revenue, which is their primary revenue stream, is based on number of viewers. And as with many places that have that sort of situation, they lie to their advertisers. This is just a fact of the internet. Anybody who relies on ad revenue lies to their advertisers about their audience size. It's an open secret that this is something that happens. I'm not happy with it. I'm sure their advertisers aren't happy with it. But that is the reason that folks don't fight bot armies that Twitch and other YouTube, other places that rely on ad revenue. That's the reason that they don't address bot armies, is that they can claim those bots are legitimate viewers to their advertisers. The problem then is, if you're claiming those are legitimate users, all those folks with all the extra numbers in their names, how then do you make it harder for people to create those fake users? Well, you don't, because it's part of your revenue stream. So if people are gaming the system by creating armies of bots, not in collusion with Twitch, but with Twitch's implied approval, because it has a positive financial impact on Twitch, then how does Twitch regulate how people use those bots. So, I don't know. In an ideal world, which this is not, Twitch would acknowledge that there are a few bad actors taking advantage of their system to attack small streamers in marginalized communities. But their revenue model makes it hard for them to do that. I don't have much sympathy for Twitch in this situation. And that is why I am participating in a day off Twitch. And I will not stream. And I will not participate in anybody's chats. Because we need, collectively, small streamers need to also impact Twitch's revenue stream if we're to have any impact, or if we're to make an argument that Twitch needs to do something. They won't do anything unless there's the potential for them to lose revenue, and then they'll do something. I don't know if anybody has been following what's been going on with what's it called? Streamlabs. Streamlabs is what I use for my bot, what I use for a lot of sort of the back end of my stream, and a lot of streamers do. And Streamlabs has rolled out a new revenue stream for streamers, which is Streamlabs subscriptions. Basically, once the streamer has it set up, you can go through Streamlabs to, as if it was a tip jar, to send money to your favorite streamer, and it does not go through Twitch or YouTube or Facebook or whatever streaming service they're using. The money goes directly to the streamer. Which is nice, and I think is also going to help force Twitch to be better. Like, if there is an alternate means for streamers to get revenue to their Twitch subscriptions and bits, Twitch will sell fewer subscriptions and bits, which is going to drive Twitch bonkers. And I expect there's going to be legal battles about this. I don't know. But this is actually what I fully expect. What's going to happen is that Twitch is going to attempt to buy Streamlabs. Because you don't fight these battles in court. You just build a monopoly and remove the competition. Hopefully, Streamlabs is independent enough that they won't be tempted by that buyout. Yeah, I mean, there are benefits to subscribing on Twitch. As Lobster says, you can avoid ads and it unlocks emotes. Obviously, streamers have done a lot of work to make subscribing part of their community, because it's the streamer's revenue stream. I'll admit, because this is mostly a side project for me, I haven't done as much work monetizing it. So I haven't done as much work making subscriptions as attractive to my viewers. But were this my actual job, I would be spending hours every day finding ways to make a subscription a huge benefit to my viewers in terms of community building, in terms of, avoiding ads, like Lobster said. So yes, there is considerable infrastructure in the Twitch-verse dedicated to making subscriptions through Twitch a benefit for the viewers. I don't like this brush. I don't know if you folks can see it, but this brush is splayed at the end here. Just making any sort of precision a little difficult with it. Need to get myself new brushes. I said this on my last stream, and then I didn't do it. I work in a hobby store. Getting new brushes should not be that difficult for me. And yet, here we are again. Okay, so I got gun, bayonet, backs of the hands. I'm doing the pulls on the grenades. Get the logo on his helmet. Little straps and bits on the backpack. There. Looking good. Making progress. We're 1/3 of the way through all the figures. A little more than 1/3 because I spent time on the valise medical pack. Maybe I can pluck off the hairs that are, and I just need to do a better job tipping the brush. I don't know. Okay, this fella's gun is a little different. This is the one with the grenade launcher. So we'll do it a little differently. Interesting. Only got the eagle or the skull with the wings logo on one side of the gun. So I stream on Twitch many days a week, but I don't consider myself a Twitch streamer. Like I said, this is not my primary revenue source. It actually is not really a revenue source at all for me. It's nice to get bits and subscriptions, but I don't bang on about it, you know? I don't spend actually any time encouraging people to subscribe. There's people out there for whom this is their job, who depend on subscriptions and bits to pay bills. I am not those people. So I do appreciate having a little extra revenue here and there, maybe, to help pay for paints and brushes and camera equipment and whatever all else. But it's a luxury for me and not a necessity. So I don't like to spend a lot of time concentrating on it. But I do feel a deep kinship with many streamers. With folks who do this regularly and for a living, or who rely on the extra money that they get from their Twitch streams. And in particular, and I've said this before, my go-to, my tribe, so to speak, you know, I've talked about how humans are tribal creatures, and we form groups and defend our tribes. My tribe is the general downtrodden, the underdogs. Anybody who is marginalized, I attempt to support. And those are the people that this troll community, this gathering of bad actors, has been attacking. Minority streamers, non-binary streamers, and it's part of a wider attack on marginalized communities by people who feel they deserve more and that marginalized communities are somehow that it is somehow detrimental to them that marginalized people gain a foothold in society, so to speak. And I don't appreciate that. I don't like that folks are being attacked for the color of their skin or what gender they're attracted to or what gender they portray themselves as, or, if they're disabled. These are the people who are being attacked, and it's unconscionable that Twitch is not doing something to defend these people. They get attacked enough just for being who they are on a daily basis. They deserve safe spaces. And I feel like online communities are a source of comfort to marginalized people, which makes it feel that much more of a betrayal when the creators of those communities, the powers that be that enable people to get together on those communities, do nothing to keep those communities from becoming toxic. Went a little overboard on that skull there. That's fine. It's all good. The wash will help. We'll be doing the wash as soon as I'm done with all the silver that I'm working on now. Four more to go. And then it's wash time. So an interesting thing has been happening organically at the store. This is something I haven't contributed to, though hopefully folks at the store realize that I'm in favor of it. I don't know. But our commander community at the Abington location is becoming more and more welcoming to marginalized peoples. By which I mean, there used to be a sort of core component of the Commander crowd who were your typical magic dude bros. People who came together to play Magic because they're nerds, but who were a little bit, had a air of superiority about their hobby. Which is to say, there was a little bit of gatekeeping to it. The nerd bro community is not generally welcoming. And I don't think they actively try to exclude other people from it. I think it comes from a sense that they have found something where they can fit in after not having fit in very much in their lives. And that as such, they try to make it their space and not anybody else's, if that makes sense. It got particularly bad at one point over the summer when we had a couple of bad apples who were using the store as a clubhouse and were coming in and cussing and making crude jokes and behaving in an uncouth manner, and making the store a less welcoming place for some people, because they would make inappropriate jokes that belittled women or belittled minorities. There was a fair amount of homophobic language being used. And this is the only place where I come into this story. Because, I'm in the store more than most people. It fell to me to police this and to go to these individuals and say specifically, look, that's not appropriate. You can't use that language. If you continue to behave in this manner, you will not be allowed in the store. And it was only maybe 2 or 3 people that I had to have this talk with. And I didn't do it off stage or privately. I would go up to the table and I would say to the folks who were at the table in general, I'm hearing inappropriate behavior back here. You really need to cut it out. And they were also sometimes very loud in their inappropriateness. And I think that's, if you feel it's a safe space to be inappropriate, you revel in it to a degree. I don't know. But I talked to them. I basically talked to some of the other employees and said, watch out for this behavior. And I've told them it's not acceptable. If you could please reinforce that it's not acceptable. And one of the bad actors stopped being so loud, and one stopped coming. And in the past month, I've noticed a demographic shift in the people who have been coming into the store. There's a couple of folks. All right, so we had in the organically grown community of the Commander players who come in and hang out in the store all day, we had one black person. One. And this was... It is not a diverse community in the Abington store. Let's put it that way. And I treated him with respect, I like to think, and welcomed him and treated him no differently than I treated everybody else. And he started inviting friends. And they have, I don't know if they have a Discord or if it's just a email chain or chat group or what. But they've started bringing in other folks. And so now we have several women who are coming in on a regular basis to hang out and play. They don't tend to come up and buy cards as frequently. And I think maybe it started as girlfriends of folks who were hanging out in the store who decided to try out Magic and started hanging out as well. But it's morphed into women who play Magic and come in to do the same thing the other folks are doing, and hopefully find it a welcoming environment to come in and play Magic. And Abington has always had a very diverse in terms of sexuality community, or not always, but we've got a few across the Magic, or across the overall battleground scene, several trans folks who are longtime members of the store, like folks who have come in for ages, as well as a couple of trans employees. A very large gay and lesbian representation, and many of those people have started coming in and playing. So we have a core group of maybe 10 regular Commander players, and the diversity of that group has changed in the last couple of months in a really positive way. Sorry, I don't know how I got onto this topic, but it makes me happy to see it happening, and I like to think I had some small part in making it happen, and I feel like it makes the store a stronger place. So those are my thoughts on that. Really, I do very, very little. I'm not a confrontational person, so it was difficult for me to come out and strongly reject the behavior of the folks who were being inappropriate in the store. But I feel like it's having a positive effect. And I really, really, really appreciate that. I guess the moral of the story is small actions can have large repercussions in a marginalized community. Like, I feel I did not do very much to discourage the bad actors. But since I did it publicly and made my position well known, I'd like to think that it had a larger positive impact to those people who saw me do it. Maybe I'm entirely wrong. Maybe it's not me at all. Maybe it just organically happened. Or maybe the community of Abington in general is becoming more diverse. I'm in favor of that. I think there's a great deal of strength in diversity. I don't know if I've talked about that on my stream. But just from a biological standpoint and from a business standpoint, Diversity is strength. In the event of a catastrophic event, such as a horrifying disease, a more diverse community is a stronger community with more resources available to fight that catastrophe. And as I said, I feel a deep kinship with marginalized people. Which, comes from a place of having been ostracized as a kid for being a bit of a nerd. But I find it very gratifying to see this evolution of the clientele happening in real time. We're all nerds. Peoples is peoples. Alright, chat. This is the second to last figure for me to do these little silver details on. It's gotten easier and faster as I've gone, because I'm like, okay, I'm doing this part, I'm doing this part. I know what areas I'm doing in silver. So it gets faster. Once we're done with all the silver, do the wash. And I'm going to be very liberal and try and be a little bit fast with the wash. It doesn't require any precision. It's going almost everywhere. The only areas I really want to avoid with this wash are the white logo on the medic's diagnostic readout that I did that very careful detail work on. I don't want it to get washed out. And a couple little things like that. But in general, the wash can go pretty much everywhere. And it's going to get into gaps and the crevices and really give some character to these models. I mean, they have some character to start with, but the wash is going to help as well. feel like I missed a grenade on one of these folks, but we'll come back to it. Last one. It's our buddy, the comms officer. Antenna here in silver. I never did come up with a scheme for these flares that this fellow has on his chest. I was thinking about doing them in yellow, but I never did that. Oh. Just never came up with something to do with those. Looking good. Okay. I do want to, before I do the wash, do a couple little touch-ups. There's a couple areas where I blepped a little bit more than I think the wash will be able to recover from. Due to my haste. This is where going too fast results in having to go back and fix things. But I believe that's everybody. It took about an hour. The wash will be faster. So I might not get to highlights today. I might have to wait till Thursday to actually finish these folks. Do highlights and bases. Or I might do a little bit of work off stream. Good gracious. Okay. A little bit of brown and black to do some quick touch-ups, and then we'll do the wash. So I think in the end, it looks to me as if it's going to have taken, by the time I'm done with these folks, about 12 hours to do these 10 figures. Not including assembly time, since I did the assembly off stream. I think that's a personal best for me. And I don't feel they look terribly sloppy. Like, yes, I've been fast, but I've also been careful. I'm pretty happy with how these folks have come out. Just looking, because I made note of a couple of areas that I wanted to touch up. If I can't find them, then they can't be that bad. That was one of them. Alright. Good enough. About ready to do a wash. Alright. So, wash time. Switch brushes, because this does not require precision. I'm going to use this medium shade brush. It's got a little paint dried into the brush. I don't know what I was using it for last. I feel like it was a wash. So I must not have done a very good job of cleaning the brush after doing that. That's fine. Okay. So, as I said, Drakenhof Nightshade. Ah. I'm going to do that. I'm going to let that guy dry a little bit. And then we're just going to provides a lot of cool contrast. My concept, that I'll admit is, more an evolution of how the figures look than something I set out to do. But as I was painting them, I've decided that these are troops out on maneuver at night. So I've got sort of a moonlit, duskish quality to them, with the blue wash, and I did light blue highlights on the one figure that I've completed the highlights on. So it has a sort of a moonlit look to it, which I really like. Doesn't have to be that much wash. But I do like how this wash settles into the figure. It makes it a lot more interesting. I like how the blue interacts with the greens and the browns. With the silvers. Overall, it's a really good look. And then when I come back in and do a little highlighting, it'll look even better. Like I said, the wash is pretty quick. Doesn't take a lot of time. Just doing pretty much the whole figure in the same color wash. That looks great. Spectacular. Really happy with how these figures are coming out. Considering how quickly they've come together. So I guess on Thursday, I'll come back to do edges. What I'm going to try and do today, before logging off for the day, is I'm going to try and finish this wash on all of these figures. And then I'm going to try and put some of that basing on all of them. Oh, there's a grenade that I missed. I knew there was one that I missed. Just couldn't find it at the time. Quick and easy. So what I was saying is, I think I'll finish the wash on these, and then I'll see if I can get the base texture on them, on their bases. The Sterling Battle Mire, I'm using. And then on Thursday, when we come back to them, we'll do highlights, which is both like little silver details and dry brushing, because we're going to add a lot of dry brushed highlights. And we'll do a wash and highlights on the bases. Then we'll be pretty much done, I think. I think that's pretty much it. Highlights, trim, bases. All fairly easy stuff, too. Don't want to go too fast with the wash, because I'm actually beating air bubbles into it if I do that. That guy's done. No, I didn't do the back side of his gun here. Cool. Looking good. Slightly more than I needed, but that's okay. love watching things change as I put the wash on. It's like in real time, you can see the impact almost instantly. It looks better after it's dried, but almost as soon as you start putting the wash on, little details just pop out of the model. I got a little wash on my hand and I'm sticking to the model now. That's fine. So good, chat. It looks so good. I didn't notice that his helmet has some extra ridges on it. That's kind of cool. Cool. Yeah, I might not have time for base detailing. We'll see. I don't know how long this wash is going to take. Here's where I'm being a tiny bit more careful. Don't want to get on the logo there. Don't want to undo the work that I did on that. Okay. So in the space of 4 streams, one longish stream to start. Like I started these folks last Thursday with a 4-hour stream. And then I did a Friday stream on them. This is a Tuesday stream. I didn't stream on Monday. And I'm not streaming tomorrow, but I should, hopefully, be able to finish these off on Thursday. So it will have taken me a week and about 12 hours. To completely paint these folks. So, a week for 10 figures, definitely a personal best for me. I'm pretty proud of these guys. And next week, I should be starting on a new project. I'll be back. Start work on my September painting project. Which is a big one. It's an ambitious one. Hopefully it won't be as difficult as that Gotrek Gunnarsson fountain that I've been doing. That one got a little bogged down. I have to finish that someday. It's been very refreshing to do these folks as sort of a palette cleanser between big projects. I like that painting a squad of 10 is not a big project anymore for me. It's like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. A fast, easy palette cleanser. 10 figures. Not particularly complex figures. And I did get to play around. I got to do some fun little details. Four more to go after this. Well, folks, I hope you have had as much fun watching me paint these folks as I have had painting them. I'm gonna have to do more minis, and I really enjoy. I've really had a lot of fun doing this cohesive unit. I've been doing Marvel Crisis Protocol between larger projects lately, and those are very individual units. Each one is its own different piece. So it was fun doing this where the whole squad has a common color scheme and comes together and is clearly part of the same unit. This has been a really fun project. And I'm quite pleased with the end results. Like I said, I've probably got one more stream's worth of work to do on them. We'll do that on Thursday. But this has been a pleasure. Three more minutes to go, and then I think I'm going to call it a day for today. So close to complete with these folks. I'm curious to see what progress Kevin has made with the orcs, which are the other half of this. I constructed and primed all the terrain from this kill team box, and I believe Derek, the manager of the Abington location, is going to paint those pieces, because he has said for a while that he wants to have some orc terrain. One of the long-term goals we've had at the Abington store is to diversify our available Warcry terrain, or Warhammer terrain, to have as many complete terrain options as possible, so that when people are setting up, it's not monotonous. The table doesn't always look exactly the same from game to game. So I think Derek is going to work on that terrain. Oops, I didn't do the back of this gentleman's hand. This full Kill Team demo should be done and available to play with in the Abington location relatively soon. Like I said, I don't know what progress Kevin has made on the orcs. I don't know if they're going to be table ready this week or not. He has 2 kids at home and a third on the way, so he doesn't have as much time for projects like this. But on the other hand, he's very good and very experienced at painting orcs. He has done, I mean, his orc army is vast. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's able to hammer them out pretty quickly. Two more. So close to done. I might, off stream, do a little work on them tomorrow. I hope you folks would not mind if I do some work on these folks off stream. Just applying the Sterling Battle Mire to all of them, so they all have a coating. Oh no! There's a skull here I didn't paint. That's a problem with speeding along so much. Paint water looks very interesting. Got a lot of suspended glitter now. From this gunmetal. I'll see you Thursday, Lobster. Thanks for hanging out. Good to have you here as always. I am just about done anyhow. This is the second to last figure that needs a wash. So I have a decision to make here. Do I put the wash on the piece of paper? I think I do. Yeah, it looks fine.
Walk the garden, breathe the scent of life. Take this moment just to feel.
Okay. That is pretty much done.
The warmest smile, a waiting hand, a friend to free your heart and help you understand. Through life and loss,
Looking good.
through thick and thin,
One more.
we'll help each
Oh,
other face the pain that we all
it's good. I'll be reaching the end of this stream because my back is beginning to hurt a little bit. But thank you, everybody, for joining me. Thank you to anybody who is watching the VOD or watching on YouTube. Thank you for being here. I would be a lot less motivated to get these figures painted if I didn't have you folks to look forward to hanging out with. Knowing that I'm going to have some company makes all of this more fun. And I look forward to seeing everybody on Thursday when we will finish the remaining figures in this set. It's been a lot of fun. Remember, because of day off Twitch tomorrow, many streamers will not be streaming. But if you still want to hang out with Pi, she will be chatting on her Discord tomorrow while playing video games. She's going to be playing some Stardew Valley and just hanging out in her Discord to chat. So you will still have an opportunity to hang out with your friends who stream. They just won't be on Twitch. And I'll see you folks on Thursday. So have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, everybody. We'll see you in Amanda's chat over at twitch.tv/merrimanlion at 10 o'clock tonight as she continues to read Men at Arms by Terry Pratchett. She's reading the Guards books, and this is the second Guards book. There is much going on in the city of Ankh-Morpork. Plots within plots. And I will see you all on Thursday. Until then, be excellent to each other, friends, and enjoy whatever art it is you choose to do. I'll see you Thursday. Bye.